All right, well, welcome to our next guest. So he's wearing the CompuTrainer Gold Standard t-shirt, and he is Jim
Donaldson.
Jim Donaldson. Where are you from, Jim?
Sylvania, Ohio, Northwest Ohio.
Okay, so that's another one of those places in the US that gets cold in the winter.
Cold in the winter, right? Absolutely.
Okay, so how often do you ride your CompuTrainer year round?
2 to 3 times a week, pretty much. I like to get on it in the summertime too, because it gives me a good workout in a fast period of time, and I can measure myself from how I'm doing in my summer training. So yeah.
And where you live, is it an area where there's a lot of road traffic, a lot of cars, a lot of trucks?
No, I live out in the western suburbs of Toledo or Sylvania, and we have a lot. I can get out and ride without a lot of traffic, and I don't have to take my bike. I can ride right out of my house. So.
But you still prefer the CompuTrainer?
Yeah, for a real workout, I prefer the CompuTrainer over the road. If I'm going to go out with friends or just want to do a long, steady ride for mental training, I'll go out on the roads. But if I want to train, I'm on my CompuTrainer.
Okay, so people who've been getting information from CompuTrainer for a while will have seen your photograph and your resume pop up every now and again. It's difficult to tell, Jim, exactly how old you are looking at you, so tell us how old you are.
72, almost
72,
yeah.
Okay, so my dad's 75. If I could get him to mow the lawn, that would be a result, let alone ride his bike or be out here competing in Hawaii. So tell us about some of your training and your power outputs and where you finish in your age group overall, and particularly your bike splits compared to your age group competitors.
Well, most of the races I've done in recent years, I've been winning most of the time in the 70.3 and Olympic distance. Generally, my bike split is usually the fastest or the second or third fastest bike split, and that's certainly my forte. Is I just hang on for the run, but biking is my forte and kind of what I'm known for.
And were you a cyclist before you came into triathlon, or has CompuTrainer turned you into that?
Absolutely, cyclist? Yeah. CompuTrainer has absolutely turned into me into the cyclist I am today. And actually, there was a postcard Chuck made years ago, 1992 or 3, of me on the bike, and it says, "CompuTrainer got me to Kona." That's the title, and that's because I'm not particularly a great runner. But I was able to get a big enough lead to win a slot at Kona back in 1992, and I've been using the CompuTrainer and winning ever since, or at least be competitive ever since anyway.
So how many times have you been here?
This is my 4th time to Kona. Last time was in '99, and so I'm kind of looking forward to Saturday, the apprehension.
So you look like a guy that people would look up to and respect. Your longevity in the sport, the fact that you're a winner, the fact that you've been to Kona. They'd probably ask your advice. What's the one thing that you would tell them if they were going to, when they're buying an indoor trainer, about why they should get a CompuTrainer?
Well, I think it's motivating. You buy a wind type trainer or mag trainer, and you're going to go ride for an hour, and half hour goes by, you're looking at your watch. And where CompuTrainer, you sort of have a beginning and an end. I mean, if it's a 25-mile ride or a 30-mile or Ironman ride, you have a beginning and an end. You can also, the thing that I think is one of the key factors about CompuTrainer is the ability to race yourself from previous efforts. So not only have this beginning and end just like a race, you've got this guy chasing you, which is yourself, and you want to try to improve your performance from the previous time, so you work to stay ahead of them.
And that's one of the things that we've discovered with, say for instance, if we set somebody off to do a time trial around the track and they're on their own, we can get about 3 or 4% more if there's other people around them. Right. The motivation of others, yes. The motivation of chasing. So if you're doing a functional threshold test or a time trial and you've got that previous performance and he's ahead of you, one of the things I've used also is where you use your previous performance but try different pacings. So you let him go ahead,
right,
and see if you can catch him by doing a different pacing strategy, and work out whether it's better to hold back a bit at the beginning. Trying to do that outdoors, you've got all sorts of variables, so you never actually know whether it's your pacing or the fact that you got a tailwind.
Right. Well, that's one of the other key things. Is I tell people that, because I work for CompuTrainer to do some expo booths, and I tell people that there's no variable. So if you're racing against yourself, it's not hotter or windier. You know, the road surface isn't different. It's you exactly like you did before with no variables, and measuring your performance against your previous performance. So I think that's the key. And of course, the spin scan, you know, is a very valuable tool too. But you know, when I'm selling or talking to people at a booth, which you only have a few minutes to do, I usually will highlight those features: the ability to race against yourself, and then the ability to for spin scan, which most people have never seen before.
Okay, Jim, well, one thing before we go,
Yep.
what we should have mentioned is that CompuTrainer also keeps you looking young. So
Yeah.
thanks for being here today.
Thanks.
Enjoy your race
No
on
problem.
Saturday, and we'll be looking out with interest at your bike split.
Thank you very much, Simon.